Welcome everyone to this pick a card reading. In this reading we have 4 options, and we're going to be talking about healing family patterns. So we might be getting into some heavy subject matter such as trauma. It just depends on what happens to be going on in your particular family and what needs to be healed. But just as an initial warning, we could be getting into some difficult subject matter here, and the point of it is to provide you with support for healing unhealthy patterns within your family. We have 4 options here. Option number 1, option number 2, option number 3, and option number 4. You can get into your intuition in whichever manner works best for you in order to figure out which option or options seem to be calling out to you. And then, of course, just use the timestamps in the description box below. And you can head on over to your reading whenever you're ready, and I will see you there. Bye-bye. All right, hello to everyone who chose option number 1. The stone that you chose here is a malachite. Some of you may have already recognized that when you were choosing. We'll look at that a little bit more on the back. Towards the end of the reading. I do feel like there's a lot of road traffic going by today, so if you hear that, it's not super loud, but not much I can do about it. All right, let's see here. So the first question, I have 4 questions that I'm going to ask through the course of each of these readings. The first one is, what's not being openly addressed within the family? Or what's the issue that is maybe just kind of being, maybe the family's in denial or they're pushing it to the side perhaps. Okay, we have secondary, uncomfortable, insecure, and foolish. I kind of get the feeling like there's someone in the family who is never the first priority. So this could be like an issue between siblings, for example, where one sibling is always given priority over the other sibling or siblings, or it's just one person in the family probably gets prioritized more than others. Or in any case, I feel like it creates an uncomfortable situation overall for everyone. For the person who's always being put last or deprioritized, it makes them feel very insecure. And maybe the only way that they have to cope with these feelings of insecurity is to act in a foolish way. This could be even someone who's acting out because they're not getting their needs met, not getting the attention that they need. I do feel like with the uncomfortable card, it feels like it's creating an uncomfortableness for everyone in the family. But at the same time, it's just maybe people don't know how to address it. I'm getting the feeling that for some family members may not know how to address it because they feel like it might make that person feel even more insecure to point it out or something like this. Let's clarify. As uncomfortable, we get the 4 of Wands. I think that it could be in particular, there's something about family gatherings or maybe holidays or birthday parties or graduations, but like any type of family event it's meant to be a celebration, but at the same time it feels really uncomfortable because there's like an unspoken recognition within the family that somebody is being put last. Yeah, which is I think it's the consequence of someone else being put first. It could be, I did notice when I was looking at malachite, it says claim your success on the back. So maybe there's one person who, and I get this happens a lot in siblings, but it could be something else as well. But, there could be one sibling or just one person within the family who they're really supported to succeed, but someone else is not getting the same level of support to succeed. It could even be causing the one who is supported to feel insecure as well, because it's not like they ever asked for that special treatment, and yet they're getting it. So I think it creates complication all around. I feel like I keep getting, there's like a red shirt, a red shirt, a red shirt, and a red dress, and then this red cloak. I don't know. It could be about money as well. Maybe someone in the family is supported more with money than someone else, and it helps that person succeed more. Or the goal is to help that person succeed by maybe providing more of a firm foundation. I do feel that you're not the only one in the family who does want to talk about this more. I feel like a lot of people in the family are recognizing that there are issues here. Even the person who's providing this greater level of support or money or both to that one person, even they feel a bit uncomfortable with it, and I think want to address it. So let's see what else. The second question is just how can you maybe begin to talk about these issues so that they can be honestly dealt with. We get protection, guardian angel, you're not alone, magic guardian, the inner voice, and move your body. So let's start out over here. I mean, one thing is that, you know, your guides are already, your guides and angels are already speaking to you about this issue. They're already trying to provide you with clarity about how to approach this, whether it is speaking up or whether it is something else. They're trying to help you here. One way that you can tap into that intuition is through exercise, you know, whatever form of physical movement you enjoy. I feel like this is going to get you out of your head, and it sort of clears up and facilitates that connection with the divine in some way, because when you're engaging in physical activity, it's harder for your mind to be so constant. It can be sort of be a clearing for your mind in a way. And I feel like also I'm getting like it sort of gives you confidence as well, so that you feel more in charge of your life overall. You know, it's like that feeling of accomplishment that you get at the end of a workout. That helps to fuel you to have the confidence you need to succeed regarding this family issue. With you are not alone, again, you have a very strong divine connection, and your divine helpers, your spirit guides, angels, however you want to view it, are definitely with you on this. But I also get, you know, and I got this before, that you're not the only person in the family who understands this is an issue. I think that this is kind of like almost everyone involved kind of feels like, this is a little uncomfortable, but I don't know how to approach it, or I don't know how to change it or make it better. And then we have protection, strong protective magic for the family and the home. I mean, and we have magic guardian, unlock the magic within. So if you do magic or spells or even prayer to me, you could pray or do some sort of magic work to protect the well-being of the family as a whole as you work through this issue, so that no one needs to suffer in the process of addressing this, of correcting this. Let me see here. For those of you, if any of you happens to be the one who is the one that's left out, again with this red here, I feel that your guides want to remind you that although it might really hurt to be the one who's kind of left to fend more for yourself, you know, you still have a firm foundation regardless. And in fact, maybe that's why you've been left to fend more for yourself. I mean, every situation is going to be different, but it could be that some family members just think, well, pile one is probably going to succeed without this extra help. So We just assume that they'll be fine, and that they're going to fly out of the nest and just be just fine. If you're the one who's getting the extra support and help, I feel like this is saying, not to feel bad about it, not to necessarily feel guilty, because that's not helping the situation either. Yeah. I feel like, whatever this is, I feel like a lot of people within the family are recognizing that there's some sort of imbalance here, but there's no lack of love or lack of loyalty. Everyone here wants all family members to succeed. The goal is for everyone to succeed. It just may feel a little bit out of balance. All right. All right, so the question number 3 is how to come from a place of love and safety rather than fear and defensiveness. Okay, we get individuality, no expectations, lilac, and gerbera daisy. I delight in being my own person. Though I am indelibly connected to my parents, siblings, etc., I see the beauty in being my own unique and sometimes crazy self. So maybe you feel like you really stand out from the family in some way. And, I think that people in your family do appreciate that. They probably appreciate it more than you think. But you also have to appreciate that and just be willing to own that and be like, you know what? I'm different. Either you're different because you're the one that's set aside and given more support, or you're different because you're the one that's expected to fend for yourself, or different for some other reason entirely. But I think that one of the ways you can connect more to love is just love yourself for being an individual, and also love the other members of your family for their own individuality as well. No expectations. I'm wise and emotionally stable. I see my family for who they are, and I trust that they will deliver to the best of their capabilities at any given moment. With this in mind, I ditch my expectations. Expecting anything specific of them would be a recipe for disappointment, and that's a recipe Grandma's been guarding for generations. So it's sort of like, I wouldn't recommend no expectations myself, but I think what they're saying here is to recognize that everyone is truly doing their best. And, if you show up and you're doing your best as well, and, maybe this can inspire other people to reach even higher, but without a feeling of perfectionism. I really feel like what this is guarding against is like a perfectionistic, like everyone in the family has to be perfect, otherwise they're failing type of a mentality. And then we have first emotions of love. Love is the magician that pulls man out of his own hat. So again, I feel like this is like, it's just saying, your logical mind might feel very critical of certain family members regarding this issue, and just to try to come from your heart more so than your mind right now, and that's part of the magic as well. Gerbera daisy, purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you're attentive, you will see it. So it's sort of also about like, try to focus on what you're grateful for within this family unit, because there is a lot to be grateful for. That doesn't mean that you just pretend that the bad stuff isn't there, but try to, keep a balanced mindset about this. I do feel that your guides are saying that there are family members who are really trying their best here. Even from the beginning of this reading, I feel like it's making everyone in the family feel uncomfortable. Nobody necessarily feels like this is a great situation. But also people might still, everyone's still human, so they might still not know exactly how to approach it. So understanding that with love is a great way for you to approach it. Okay, so what's going to come from you What is going to come from you, your ability to approach this situation? What's going to be the outcome here, basically? Okay, it happened because you were ready for it. Use your voice, say it loud. The world is yours. If you want to dance, then dance. I kind of feel like, ask for what you deserve. So I feel like a lot of you are probably the ones who are kind of being left out and not supported as much as someone else in the family is being supported. Continue to be in touch with your joy. Don't lose sight of your joy. But you need to ask, and you need to be proactive and say, hey, I need support with X, Y, or Z. Thank you for helping me out with that. Sort of being assertively showing that you do expect this level of support. And I think with the lion here as well, like saying so with authority and letting it be known, maybe it appears that you're successful in certain ways, but I think that you could be saying like, listen, I've been successful in such and such way, and I feel that demonstrates that I could be even more successful with such and such type of support. Thank you for being willing to hear me out. Thank you for being invested in supporting me. I feel, and with the sun, it's like really coming about it in a very positive way. Even the way that you speak about it is going to be very important. And I guess the question that we were asking is about the outcome. The outcome is a lot of success. I feel that you will get the support that you need, more so. But even if it's not as much as you would want or think that you need, you're going to be like so successful. So, and then we have Moose, powerful, independent. And then Church. I feel that the family as a whole, you probably come from a family that does really value success. Whether family members have been quote unquote successful or not, and and that can be measured in various ways, but I think that there's a lot of value on success, and you will be successful. And a part of it is because this is a family value, and if you are able to demonstrate that to the family, the importance in fostering this success within you or within other family members who might be, sort of left to be fending for themselves, whoever it happens to be, then you will get that support to really help you shine even more. But it doesn't matter, because in the end, you'll shine regardless. So have that confidence in yourself when you're broaching this topic with your family. Come at it from a place of positivity. The outcome is going to be very positive overall, is what I feel. Okay, we have Mercury in Aries in the 6th house. I feel it's, finding a way. I think you're going to find your voice. You know what I really think is, through addressing this issue, you're going to understand how to be more assertive. Now, a lot of people hold back from being assertive because they think it's the same as being aggressive. But these are two different things. Being aggressive is rude. It's bulldozing other people. Being assertive is simply declaring what your standards are, what your expectations are. So being able to communicate assertively what you need and why you want it and how that serves everyone, not just you, but in the 6th house, why is this the best thing to do? Why do you deserve to be supported in this way? I think you'll be able to communicate to the family that in supporting you, you will be in a better position of success to therefore serve the family. And likewise, you'll be able to communicate, listen, I helped the family already in so many different ways, and this demonstrates that supporting me in kind is simply allowing me to continue to have the strength to do so. And then we have intuition. Listen to the whispers of your heart. Use divination tools to help you decide. Trust your intuition no matter what. So we got something about intuition before. So I feel like you guys are already, you've been getting strong messages of some kind about this. So I feel like you already know that the right thing to do is to assertively ask for what you need, but in a loving, positive way, you know. And I think that you're going to be successful in the process of doing so. And then Malachite, it says, claim your success. It says, when the concrete jungle has you disconnected from the earth beneath it, that's when you need this stone. When you've just got to have the money, the power, and all the glory, come at it with a heart-forward, sustainable energy, courtesy of Malachite. I think that you guys are very focused on success, and I kind of feel like part of the message is too, you know, you are very independent, but there might be a part of you that it feels a bit of a grudge that you haven't been supported in the way that maybe another family member or other family members have been. And this is just, again, it's just sort of reminding you to be loving and understanding, and, you know, holding a grudge might be understandable here, but it's not going to help you. And it's definitely not going to, if you come at this situation and speak to your family from a place of resentment, it's probably not going to get you what you want anyway. So it's sort of like prioritizing the love first and foremost, understanding that I feel like there's a lot of love towards you from all family members when it comes to this issue. So recognizing that as well can help support you to continue to follow. You have this very strong guidance already about the right way to approach it. I'm probably not telling you anything that you didn't already know. I kind of bumbled through this whole reading anyway. But anyway, I hope that this was helpful in some way. I do appreciate you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys. Welcome to everyone who chose option number 2, which is a sugilite. Don't know if you recognize that or not. I would not have, but it is a very pretty stone. That's what you chose. We'll look at this card at the end of the reading. Now let's just start out seeing what's going on in your family that needs healing. We have excuses, misguided, stagnant, and unlovable. Okay. So someone in the family is making a lot of excuses for not wanting to change. With excuses and stagnant, someone really does not have the desire to change. I feel like with misguided, they may not even see that there's a need to change. And I feel like this person might be stuck in life or stuck doing things that are not best for them. And it really the root of it is that they don't feel lovable. I feel like this person truly does not feel worthy of love. So whatever it is that they're doing in their life that they're making excuses for and they're not willing to act on changing or improving, it's because basically they don't feel like they're worth any better. So this might be you, it might be someone else, but that's the issue that I get. Someone is stuck, they're refusing to change. But they need to, but they're making a lot of excuses for not doing so. All right, I do feel like there is a spark of a desire to want to change, but it is just a spark, and it's like it's not enough to cut through the fog of this person's misguided lack of love and lack of motivation. So let's see how you can sort of address this. Time to shine. Creates the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. We have Mother Earth, feel loved and comforted. You have Animal Guardian, trust your instincts, speak your truth, honoring your feelings. I kind of feel like most likely the person who's refusing to change is someone else, and you're probably the person who's trying to get that person to see that they do need to change, that it's in their best interest. I feel like, You may have been someone who has stepped into your own light, and because you know that that's possible, because you've done it yourself, it's like you want to show the way to this other person. You've been able to come to a greater sense of self-love within yourself. My cat Coco, I don't know if you can hear her meowing, but she has a lot to say here in the background. But anyway, I feel like you're trying to show this person that they can also be happier, basically. And you are approaching it from a place of love. So the guidance from you is to continue to do that. Continue to approach it from a place of love. Make sure that this person knows the point is not to be critical. The point is that you see a better path. You are trusting your own instincts here, and you're honoring that. Your instincts are telling you there is a better path for this person. I feel like your guides want you to know that it's important for you to continue to speak up about this issue. This person is probably, with the energy that I'm picking up here, they're probably going to continue to try to stall, because that's what they've been doing. And, remind yourself that it's because this person is not loving themselves enough to understand that they're worth more. So you have to persist in showing this person that something better is certainly possible. Continue to speak truthfully and with love. And also your guides are saying your feelings matter here too. I feel like this is very painful for you to see someone you love and care about refuse to step into the sunlight. Someone is choosing to remain in the darkness, in the fog, and you're saying, yeah, but have you noticed the doorway to the cave over there? Have you thought about leaving the cave for a moment and seeing what else is out there? What other possibilities there are for you? Let's see if there's anything else here. I kind of feel like I was clarifying this animal guardian because I wasn't getting the full message here. It's kind of like when you have a pet, it's easy for you to see, for example, that, like, let's say you have a dog, a puppy, and they keep eating things that are obviously not meant to be food and that could actually be very unsafe for them. Well, to some extent, the puppy just doesn't know, but you have to continue kind of firmly guiding them so that you can teach them. I think also with the Emperor and the Archangel Gabriel, again, you have to be kind of firm. There is a sort of a tough love required of this person. And I'm using the dog thing as a metaphor. I'm not trying to put anyone down or anything like that. But when someone is so used to, when you have a dog, for example, that's gotten used to eating shoes, when shoes are not food, and in fact that could, obstruct their bowels or cause some major health complication. You have to figure out, you can't just say, well, that's how that dog is just going to keep doing that, so we'll just let them keep doing that even though it's dangerous. You have to continue to persevere and continue to say over and over, hey, here's your food. Here's what's good for you, right? You have to continue to guide the person towards the better path. I think, the Eight of Cups does always show a reluctance. There is a recognition in this person that they do need to choose that path, and they may have even started to walk in the better, healthier direction for themselves, but it is going to be slow. And so you need to recognize that this person needs your support to keep going in that direction. And the best way to be a guiding light to them is to do it lovingly, But sometimes in your lovingness, like when you're training a dog, right, you have to be firm. And again, it's like, this person is very sad. Whoever this is, they are sad. They may not be telling you the degree to which they are, but I do feel like a definite depression in them. You know, you may want to start asking them about that. Asking them about that. So let me clarify. Yeah, just say like, hey, I notice you doing X, Y, or Z. It makes me think that perhaps you're not feeling very happy, or that you're not feeling very optimistic about the future. It's sort of like helping that person to see that their possibilities are so much greater. You know, they're limiting themselves. This person can really be shining, but I feel like they are not loving themselves enough to see that. So keep helping to guide them to understand that they can. All right, what else do we have? Doing my best. I think also like words of affirmation. Everyone likes validation. Everyone wants to be validated. That's what humans love more than anything. They just want someone to validate them. Meaning, you know, like talk towards their positive things, you know. Talk about the areas in which they're already shining. In addition to helping them see that there are other possibilities, talk to them about what they're already doing well. Look, this little guy, he's forgotten to wear his shoes, his socks are mismatched, his jacket is all dirty and patched up, but he still gets a trophy, right? It's like whatever this person is going through, they're really struggling. And I feel that their struggle is probably so much greater than what you're recognizing it to be, which again, it could just be because they're not talking about it. But I really feel like with this person, you've got to focus on the positive. Like it's a way of dangling the carrot in front of them. Words of affirmation, honoring everything that they've already done to improve themselves, but helping them to see that there's still so much more that life can offer them. And I feel as well, like allowing the person, like you might have a tendency, I'll hold this up if you want to read the card for yourself, but maybe with this person, there's a tendency to focus on areas where you've been disappointed by them, or it might be a lot of like pointing out things from the past. But I think what might be helpful too is like willing to have a clean slate with this person and say, listen, we can just, I can be willing to let go of whatever has happened in the past. I just need you to love yourself enough to keep moving in the healthiest direction for yourself. Oh, we have two. Okay, optimism and gratitude. Okay, it says gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So yeah, I feel like expressing a lot of gratitude, thanking this person for all they've done for you as well, honoring that helps to, I feel like that helps them to see that they already have so much to offer. It isn't like, well, someday I could have something to offer, but until then I'm a complete loser, right? You know, this person is already like having so much of a difficult time loving themselves. So you have to be demonstrating to them as well that you already see them as incredibly worthy of love. And you need to be making it obvious that you do love them very much, that you do appreciate all of the wonderful things that they do. And then we have Red Rose, Hidden Secrets. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So there may be, I think that whatever this person is going through that's making them so depressed, maybe some of that will be coming to light more and more. Let me get some cards about that. What do we need to know here? I just keep feeling like a lot of this person's bad choices are their attempt to get the love that they don't feel within themselves. So you see them making bad choices, but right now it's like this is the only coping mechanism this person has for feeling like they have any type of love. They feel very lacking in love, and they're engaging in some sort of unhealthy, self-destructive patterns. It's just that grasping at love, I feel like, because they don't know how to get that in any other way. It's some sort of admiration that they're seeking. With some of these people, there might be some body image issues as well. And that might be a source of some of the lack of love. And I feel like they want more positive feedback. I mean, it may or may not be that. I mean, we're speaking to a wide audience here, but this person definitely is craving positive feedback. And I feel like they might be doing things, what appears quote unquote bad, or that it's not for their own best interest. It's really just they're trying to they're trying to be loved. You know, this person has a long way to go to reach their potential, their full potential, and they do need support in order to do that. So it's sort of like if you keep saying like you're not doing your best, you're not doing your best, you're failing here, you're dropping the ball here. It's like it creates a greater burden. This person's already carrying a lot of burdens, and that sort of, although it might be well-intentioned, that's not really what's going to motivate this person. It might to a certain extent, but it's like motivating them through shame. And I feel like this person's already carrying around a lot of shame. So I think that motivating them through positivity wherever possible is the best approach. You know, that doesn't mean to sacrifice truthfulness, right? Because you still need to speak your truth. So that doesn't mean you need to like pretend that certain things are acceptable in this person's behavior when they're not. That trying to focus on the positive. Okay. Oh, I feel like I've gotten my cards out of order here. No, I have not. I've just confused myself. Okay, so let's see what the outcome is going to be. Create your own form of bliss. It's going to be okay. No, it's going to be amazing. So I think you as well need to let go of your worry about this person and really believe in the best possible outcome for them. It also says your path is yours alone. Hold on tight and enjoy the ride. So as much as you care about this person, you cannot sacrifice your own needs in the process of trying to help them. Yes, I do feel your guides are encouraging you to help support this person because they really need it. They're not in a very good place. And they do need a lot of love and support. But you can't sacrifice your own life as well. You have to remain strong yourself. But so stay optimistic. Focus on your own happiness as well. That needs to be a strong priority. You definitely don't want to like get pulled into the darkness yourself. I feel like, you know, your guides are acknowledging that this is a complicated situation, and the path to this positive future that you're knowing will be is going to have its zigzag turnarounds. You know, it is going to be a little bit of a puzzle to solve, but just know that you will solve the puzzle. What's been tangled up and what's become very confused in a difficult situation, it will be unraveled, and things will get less complicated as they go along. If it seems overwhelming right now, trust that it will become easier. I think that this was some sort of karmic cycle that the family was meant to go through. This was something that you both needed to learn together, and the result will be very positive. If there's a child involved in this situation, the child will be okay. And you also need to recognize that whoever it is that we're talking about here who needs to change, their inner child is also incredibly wounded. And so going through this process of change, you have to recognize that they're still a child in a lot of ways themselves. They might seem completely mature in various ways, but emotionally, in terms of their ability to really make the right choices for themselves, they are also still really just a child. And they need the same kind of support that a child needs in terms of making the best choices for themselves. Because sometimes they really just don't know. But you have to do it with love. You have to do it with that understanding that this person is very fragile. There's no right or wrong way to approach this. And you also have to acknowledge that ultimately this person does have free will. But like I said, they have free will, and they're probably going to exert their free will and be stubborn in certain ways. And that's going to create sort of a zigzag pattern of maybe it'll be 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So expect that. Not in a pessimistic way, because you want to be optimistic that the end result is going to be positive, but just, be realistic in that it's not going to be like a straight shot from here to the finish line. There will probably be obstacles along the way. And along the way, you might need to adjust your sails as necessary. But overall, this will be very positive. The outcome will be positive. Keep the faith that that is the truth. There will be times when you may doubt it because you may come to a particular crossroads when it comes to this situation. But try to keep the faith. Yeah, be realistic. We have Saturn here. You're going to have to be patient. This is not going to be an easy journey. And it is going to require a lot of you. But I feel that you have to rise to your own responsibility here as well. You have very high ideals. You have the most loving, the most positive expectations here. And you're going to have to continue to be a straight shooter, But speaking your truth with love, but still speaking your truth. And again, patience. So, yes, I think that you value this family member enough that you're willing to be patient. You're willing to be responsible and put in your own hard work, because it's going to require that of you. And but you also have to be patient with this person. But please know, although it might not be an easy journey, like I said, the end result, you need to trust that this will be positive, that there is a lot of hope and optimism. Your angels and guides are very much supporting you. We also have nature. Ground yourself, find a sanctuary in nature, connect with the elementals. Again, you have to take care of yourself here too. You can't just give all that you have to this person. Although I do feel that your guides are saying, yes, you are responsible for this person in a sense. You're not the person. They're ultimately the person to be responsible for themselves, unless this is a child that we're talking about. But if it's another adult, of course, they ultimately have to be the one who's most responsible for themselves. But you do have a certain karmic responsibility to help this person succeed in becoming happier and healthier. But you also have to take care of yourself and your own needs. Stay grounded. Continue to focus on your own happiness as well. You may literally need to spend time in nature to calm yourself, to soothe yourself. And we have Sujilite. Who needs it? Anyone planning an escape from the confines of space and time. You or this person might be an escapist, maybe both of you. that might be an area that you have to address. There might be, maybe this person is dealing with escapism issues. That might be part of their problem as well, that's dragging them into unhealthy patterns. But you also might sometimes want to escape from the difficulty of this. It might just feel too much for you sometimes. When to use this stone. When you're called to take your spiritual practice to another level, it's easy to stay stuck in something that isn't working. And stuck is exactly what we saw at the beginning. Stagnant. It's easy for this person to stay stuck. There's a comfort to and a safety to the status quo. But there's an unknown out there with unlimited blissed out possibilities. Ask Sujilite to light the way there. Stretch the limits of your imagination. So you yourself might find it difficult sometimes to believe that something better is possible. This situation may have been stuck for so long and unhealthy for so long. It might be many generations that this type of pattern has existed within the family. I just feel like your guides are saying, yes, but this will turn out in the most optimistic way. And if you need to draw on divine support to help you keep the faith that is the case, then do that. Do whatever you need to do. Do not lose sight of faith here, basically. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you felt that this was a helpful reading. And I appreciate you so much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, welcome to everyone who chose option number 3, which was Serpentine. And we'll look at that card itself at the end of the reading. But let's start out just by seeing what is the issue in your family that needs to be healed. We get projecting, forceful, one-sided, and disconnected. I feel like overall, I kind of get like a lot of blaming each other. People are having a difficult time seeing things from someone else's perspective. There are a lot of fingers of blame being pointed, maybe back and forth. I think that this is happening rather forcefully. People aren't really holding back. But again, it's like it's coming from a place of disconnection. It's like people are not having an ability to really understand completely where the other person is coming from. Okay. So what can you do about this? We have air. Work with the element of air to cut through to the core of a situation and see the truth. So yeah, obviously the first thing is to recognize that it's happening, that you might not be seeing the whole truth of who someone is, and so you might have an idea of who they are, and vice versa. So how can you see beyond what you might be projecting onto someone and see the real truth of who they are? We have also Father Sky, so yeah, trust that there is something that you don't know about this person. You might be feeling very resentful towards someone or feeling like someone is to blame in your family more so than anyone else, or maybe a few people are to blame for something. But there's something that you don't know that if you knew it, you'd have a very different perspective. So just having that awareness first and foremost. Also understanding that whoever this person is, whatever it is that you feel that they have done wrong, they are still a spiritual teacher, at the very least, from the point of view that, all life situations provide us with opportunities to learn lessons. And the best thing that you can do, the most loving way that you can approach this right now is being willing to sort of see the spiritual lesson in this. You know, this might be an incredibly difficult family situation that people are blaming each other or pointing blame at each other, but I don't think anyone here is seeing the whole truth of the situation. And I think that one thing that you can do is pray for or ask your guides for greater awareness so that you can see the truth more clearly. Dear angels, I allow you to support me as I grow to become more spiritually aware. You know, and also in particular to become more aware as it relates to this situation. That there are, and also maybe praying to understand the spiritual lessons so that you can learn them. Because if you learn a lesson, you don't have to repeat it, right? How can you make the healthiest choices here? Let's get some clarifiers. I feel like your intuition is very strong, and you are relying a lot on your intuition to help you understand certain things because some things are unknown, and some things can't be known in a more logical sense, maybe because people are keeping secrets, or just certain things are not being spoken of. So you don't know the whole truth about certain things, and it's causing you to have to rely more on your intuition. And I feel that maybe half of the time you are correct in your intuition, but your guides want you to understand there's about another half of it where you're not correct in your intuition. So they're advising you to understand, not to get carried away with this idea that you know exactly what's going on unless you have factual reasons to understand it. I mean, trust your intuition up to a point, but also be willing to understand, you know, to look for greater confirmation. Whatever is going on in your family, you definitely, you know, need to be doing what's right for you, making the choices that lead you to genuine happiness. And if your intuition is helping you to guide you towards certain paths that do lead to greater happiness, then you're correctly following your intuition. If your intuition is leading you down paths that are actually creating a greater burden for you, then it doesn't necessarily mean your intuition is wrong, but it might mean that you need to try to look for more like quote-unquote real life evidence. And it could be that the real life evidence would show you that things are actually better than what you think that they are. I do feel like some of your intuitions have been based in suspicion. You have maybe suspected something to be true within the family, and you felt like your intuition was supporting that to be true. This may have caused some sort of significant change within the family because you were following your intuition on some things. But it could be that you were maybe a bit too blindly following that intuition. And it could be leading you to become too suspicious. Or maybe even paranoid in a certain kind of a way. Okay, we have peaceful home. Consolation. We have asters, elegance and patience, and peony, prosperity and compassion. I do my part to create an Om home by aligning with the calmest, gentlest part of myself. Everything I do and say can be accomplished at a measured and civilized volume, with tranquility and love. So will you kindly stop doing whatever not quiet thing you're doing before I calmly get so annoyed that I gently lose my mind? Yeah, so I mean, something in the that's happening in the family is probably bothering you, but you have to like keep in touch with your own sense of calmness. That's the best thing, the best approach that you can take right now. I mean, like I said, you may even be like super suspicious about certain things, but to the point of paranoia. You know, your suspicion may be getting to the best of you because there are a lot of things that are not known, and you could be projecting a lot of things to be true when there's really no real support or real evidence for that being true. I feel as well with this consolation that some people within the family, although they might appear to be prickly or causing frustration or even something worse than frustration, causing harm, I think these people as well need some sort of support. But let me just read this whole thing. I am a kind and supportive family member, and I give that support as willingly as a golden retriever. When someone I care about is feeling down, I'll console them and pick them back up. Not literally, unless they're much, much smaller than me. But even in that case, I'll remember to lift with my legs, because kind and supportive people aren't immune to back issues. So yeah, I mean, maybe you feel a need to help, to be very helpful and supportive to someone in the family, and that's good. It's good to be loving and supportive, but you also have to like keep your own zen, you know, like you can't sacrifice to the point that you're, you know, metaphorically putting your own back out just to lift someone else up. And I feel like whatever it is where there's just a lot of things that are unknown and still yet to be discovered here. Let me go back to the initial cards. Where there's a lot of blame going on. And people may be making assumptions about other family members, having a difficult time seeing the other person's side. It's creating sort of division within the family unit that doesn't need to be there. Let me see. This reading is more complicated than the other ones. I mean, a big part of the message is that you need to focus on giving yourself the best possible life. You might be viewing someone else as like, wow, that person's really like needing a lot of support. Maybe they actually don't need as much support as you think. Or, wow, that person is really awful. Maybe they're not as awful as what you think. Either way, whatever's going on, part of the issue is that you don't really know what's going on. And in the meantime, what you can focus on is giving your own self the life that you deserve. You are perfection. So focusing on your own self-worth, valuing yourself enough that you are not making yourself unhappy through your desire to maybe, you know, create like some sort of perfect family unit. I think it's, yeah, it could be like, to some extent, like, instead of focusing on other people in the family, maybe you need to focus on yourself first. Trust your intuition. It's the GPS to your dreams. I don't know. This reading is so bizarre to me. I feel like I'm getting like, it's almost like the degree of how confusing the reading is, because at one point it's like, you might be trusting your intuition too much, and now it's saying trust your intuition. It's the GPS to your dreams. It's like, I feel like there's so much confusion going on here. There's no wonder why. I mean, what to do? Like, I don't know. I'm confused myself. I feel like what the family really needs is like stable harmony and happiness. And maybe certain family members genuinely, in order to find that stable happiness, need to have space from each other. It could be that people just need to go to their proverbial, go to your own corner, like get space from each other. Get some breathing room from each other. There's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of chatter, but the chatter is not making anything more clear. It's creating greater confusion here. So I really just feel like people need space to breathe, space to focus on their own lives rather than pointing out what someone else needs to do with their life and so on. And the other person A is pointing to person C is pointing to B is pointing to D. It's like there's a lot going on here. Some people in the family maybe really are very in tune with their intuition and know very well what's going on. Other people are just super paranoid and have absolutely no idea what's going on. I feel like there's just so much confusion that the best thing to do is just for people to get space and to focus on themselves right now. We have Sun and Cancer. I mean, there is a lot of love in this family, and if there are children in the family, then there's a lot of love in particular for the children here. So definitely, I think that the greatest focus and what will be the outcome here is that the children will be protected. The children will be loved. Okay, so whatever the issue is that's causing so much confusion and disharmony, if the different family members who are like pointing fingers at each other can kind of like separate for a moment enough to clear their own heads and focus on their own lives for a minute, the outcome will be a very positive outcome for the children here. Yeah, it's like if there's been a lot of like enmeshment or confusion or blame shifting among the adults in the family, there's hopefulness here that, things can change for the younger generation of the family coming up, that it won't always have to be so much like it has been, that there won't always have to be so much disharmony, there won't always be so much confusion. Maybe the adults will always have trouble communicating with each other, but I feel at the very least, the children will be able to learn how to communicate better. Okay, and we have Serpentine as the card that you chose. Who needs it? Kundalini Yoga. Is anyone in need of a fresh start? I feel like the communication in this family is so confusing that the communication needs a fresh start. When to use it? When it's time to let go of tired beliefs and get stuck energy unstuck. If Serpentine arrives in your life, it's an invitation to rip off all the proverbial band-aids and regroup. Hit the sauna, sweat it out, and release all lingering drama. Yeah, like if the family needs a reset button. There's too much drama. There's squabbling, blame shifting. Whew. If you made it to the end of this reading and you have any idea what's going on, then I feel like you're in a better place than me because I feel very confused. And I don't even know if this has been a helpful reading. But let's get a final message from your guides. If anyone's still with us from group 3, like, what do they need to know here? There needs to be greater clarity. Seek clarity. Seek the truth. Cut through. Work with the element of air to cut through to the core of a situation and see the truth. So you need to see the truth more so than you currently are. There is a lot of love here in the family. There's a lot more love and there's a lot more hope in a positive outcome than what you might be thinking that there is. Some things will need to change. in order to help the family be brought up into the next, brought up to the next level of wellness, of healthiness. But know that that will happen. That is the karmic outcome that is destined. And the best way to get to that place is, again, to actively and proactively be seeking the truth. Your intuition may very well be guiding you towards the truth, but you need to be using that just as a GPS system. You also have to follow your own instincts. Sometimes GPS systems can be wrong, right? Have you ever tried to use a GPS system and it guided you, down a very strange route that was definitely not the right direction? Sometimes your intuition can do that, even if you have a super strong intuition. But either way, you need to be seeking logical evidence, logical things to support whatever your intuition might be telling you. Don't just rely on the intuition, but you have to be seeking the truth. A lot of you are feeling very alone right now. Maybe you have already sort of cut ties, or you've kind of tried to get space from other family members. And maybe you're starting to miss them a little bit. You have what it takes to correct this situation, whatever it happens to be. And the number one tool that you need to use is the sword of truth and clarity. But also you need to trust love. There is a lot of love here. Even if the situation is so confused that you're not even sure what is up or down, right or wrong, who's on your side, who's about to stab you in the back. There is still a lot of love in this family. Way more love than what you feel that there is. And I think, family members really do want you to be happy and healthy. You want that for them. There is actually a lot of emotional maturity here. I think everyone in the family really does ultimately want what's best for the family, especially for the kids. I think a lot of people here really are putting kids first. They want to foster the growth and the well-being of children. I think that, there are a lot of family members, and your guides want you to recognize this, who really do want to improve things, But it's different family members might disagree on what's broken. You all want to fix what's broken, but you might not have the same idea of what actually is broken. But what you can agree on is love. So for the time being, maybe that's the thing to focus on the most, is just understanding, okay, we all still love each other. We all still want the best for each other. And we definitely all still want the best for any children that are involved in this family. All right. If you made it to the end of this reading, I will be shocked, because I'm surprised even that I made it to the end. I almost decided to stop at one point. I was so confused. All right. But anyways, if this was helpful to you in some way, I'm glad to have been of assistance. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, welcome to everyone who chose option number 4. The stone you chose was ruby. It says feed your fires. We'll look at that card more at the end. But first, let's just see what is going on in your family that needs healing. We get cold, faithless, embarrassment, walking away, and secretive. I almost feel like, I think that there's been some sort of cheating that's happened in your family. Someone has cheated on someone else. Someone feels embarrassed. They felt like whoever cheated on them was cold. It was a very cold-hearted way. It's like the person who did this, it's like they're not even acknowledging that it was wrong, perhaps. It may have been caused to a breakup or a divorce. So that's what I'm getting, first of all. Let's see what else we can get. We get achievement. Win the award, accolade, or contract. Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. Oracle. Wait for important information. We get new beginnings, so that goes along with the walking away, and you are protected. You know, I feel like, if you're the person who was cheated on, or if you were just really hurt by this, let's say, it was, I don't know, just anyone in your family, and you're just like, wow, even if it wasn't you, it just hurts to know that this happened in your family. I think that your guides are saying, for one thing, you're protected in this new beginning. So going forward from here, whatever this was, this very hurtful, embarrassing, cold action that took place, I feel like it caused a lot of pain for a lot of people in the family. And maybe it's not even entirely spoken of even now. Maybe there's some things about it that are sort of kept under wraps and people aren't communicating openly. But yeah, especially with this wait for important information, there's still things that maybe are not totally out in the open here. I think your guides are saying right now you need to focus on, maybe relationships are not the best in this family, but this is a family where people are very good at achievement. They're very achievement oriented, and they tend to be very successful when it comes to achieving, winning awards, accolades, or contracts. Your talents are going to take you very far. So I feel like it's a time to trust that. You may have difficulty trusting when it comes to love, even if the cheating wasn't done to you, just to see it done to someone you care about. Maybe it could be negatively impacting your own ability to trust in forming a romantic bond with someone. But you can trust in your talents, so that's a place to start. We also have bonding, love, gifts, internal validation. I think that your guides don't want you to lose hope in love. And, especially if you're the one who was cheated in, remind yourself that you are a gift. You have so much to offer. You have so much to offer. If someone was cold to you, if they discarded you, or if they treated you as if you didn't matter, you have to know for yourself the real truth is that you are absolutely a gift. And even if you've had a difficult situation, or maybe it was your parents or a sibling who went through a divorce where there was cheating, whatever it was, if it makes you scared to emotionally bond with a love partner, please trust that you can have a loving bond with a romantic partner. Please validate yourself that you are an absolute gift and absolutely deserving of such a bond. Ooh, lots about new beginnings. We have daffodil, rebirth, and new beginnings. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. So you may be going through just that, right? So trust in the positivity. There is something beautiful awaiting you, and it looks like it's a beautiful romantic love, where someone really will treat you as the treasure that you are. We also have tuberose, dangerous pleasure. The secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. Yeah, you have to be willing to put your heart out there. You have to be willing to get it broken, or broken again, if you've already had it broken here, in order to find this beautiful, loving bond that your guides are saying absolutely you will have, right? We have drink more water, it's your life force. Something that my guide said to me, and this might sound a little bit strange, but they told me at one time that water is like the physical form that love takes. So it's like when we talk about internal validation and like loving yourself and knowing your worth, drinking more water is a way to like literally fill yourself up with love. It is a way to validate yourself. What is perceived as a negative could turn positive if the lesson is learned. Yeah, so I mean, that kind of goes along with this rebirth and new beginnings. Like, you could stay stuck and say, wow, this was a horrible, painful situation. But your guides are definitely trying to get you to see that this is actually an opportunity. One door may have closed, but it's causing another door to open. You are who you believe you are, and you need to believe that you are this gift, that you are such a valuable life partner. You have to be believing that. Oh my God, you guys are destined. We have heart, love, romance, joy, bliss. Something happened in the family, and it may have been to you or it may have been to someone else, but it's made you doubt that you're going to have this loving, happily ever after type of romance. But your guides are saying, absolutely you are. It's going to be such a beautiful, happy life, and it's going to be real happiness too. It isn't going to be like that fake, like, well, it just looks good on social media type love. That with Ladybug, it's like you all are going to feel so comfortable with comfort and leisure. It's like even when you're just like sitting on the couch vegging out or whatever, like your wishes are coming true. Like real love is here for you. The real stuff, you know. I also have child, and then on here it says birth of a daughter as well. So if you guys are hoping to find a relationship where you have a child with someone and you've been doubting that because of whatever's happened in your family, all of your wishes are coming true. Like I just feel like such a beautiful, happy, blissful life. And if you're not wanting children, then I think this child card is talking again about you and that this is a beautiful beginning. No matter how it may seem, you have to be willing to believe in love again and to get back to that place of childhood innocence where you believed in, you know, the brightest possible future, right? Child, and the child becomes a woman. Yeah, I mean, you're not the child that you once were. You've seen the hardships of life. You know that life is harder than what you recognized it to be before you started experiencing painful things, right? But what you believed as a child when you were innocent and you believed in innocent truths, those were still truths. Yes, the hardship is also real, but you have to be able to be willing to believe that a new, happy future for yourself is possible. Just because you've experienced a hardship or that someone else in your family has experienced a hardship doesn't mean that you're destined for that again or that you're destined for what you've seen another family member go through. Trust in the best. I feel it's almost guaranteed that you are going to find like a beautiful love life. It's your destiny. Yeah, there will be success. Let's see. I think in particular, like, I feel a romantic connection that is, it's very loving. There's a very loving, close bond, but also like with Virgo in the third house, this is someone who you can have very free-flowing conversations with. Let me see what else here. And it's like, because you're a gift to whoever your partner is going to be. They're also going to be a gift to you. I feel like there's a mutual exchange here where both of you are going to be very interested in helping and supporting the other. And also, I just feel like excellent conversation is like guaranteed for you. And you should not worry about the details. Don't get hung up in the details. A lot of times when people get readings from me, they want to know when, they want to know things exactly. Sometimes you have to let it go and just trust that the outcome is going to be positive, and we don't have to know every detail in order for that to be true. In fact, needing to know every detail along the way is sort of like a lack of faith. And when we have faith that we will have this beautiful, bright, loving relationship, then we don't necessarily have to know all of the details, right? Because our faith is strong. And our faith doesn't need to know everything. Because what's the beauty of having the actual experience? If you know it all beforehand, it's kind of nice to have a few beautiful surprises along the way. Courage. You are safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. So obviously you want to have strong boundaries with any romantic partners in the future, or if you're currently in a relationship. But don't be so afraid that you're going to be betrayed just because you've experienced it before, or because you've seen other people who you care about experience betrayal. Yeah, it happens. People cheat. It's true. People are cold. People are cruel. They're self-serving. But that doesn't mean that that's the only possible outcome for you going forward. Let people know what your standards are. You absolutely will find a loving partner who you have wonderful conversations with. I don't know, maybe that's of particular importance to you guys, but that's coming up here. But also, this is with the North Node, this is the person who you're meant to be with. It's the best possible person. So stop being so afraid that it won't happen or that you'll get hurt along the way. The Ruby card also, let's see. When to use it. When you want to show the world you're both beautiful and ferocious. When your sex life needs a heaping tablespoon of spice. When the doldrums have you down, reach for Ruby and some really red lipstick and come out swinging. So yeah, it's get back into your sexy confidence. To go back with this, you are absolutely a gift. You are a treasure to be adored. So know that, embody yourself with that. Even if you're not going out, maybe put yourself together just for how it makes you feel, that it makes you feel good about yourself or whatever. But treat yourself like you are the best, and that will help you to attract that person who will do that for you as well. So that's what I'm getting for those of you who chose pile 4. Your reading was much quicker than some of the others, but in any case, I really hope that this was helpful. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.